There is a clear expectation that comes with playing for Notre Dame. As home to 11 national championships and 7 Heisman Trophy winners, high school recruits are sold on the opportunity to add a legacy that has been constructed for more than a century. The game has changed over the years, but the standard for the Irish has not. As players come and go, the constant of building on that winning tradition remains. It's why each player who makes the decision to don the iconic gold helmet also makes a commitment to fulfill that expectation. A commitment to always play like a champion. As a freshman wide receiver at Notre Dame, Miles Boykin is just trying to fit in, learning a new playbook and making the transition to college life. But just a year ago, Boykin was a high school senior and the focal point of a high-powered state championship team.
You know, you just dream about it, and words can't describe what it actually feels like. I mean, your biggest goal and you reach it. 4 years of just, basically year-round training for the same thing, for one ultimate goal, and you finally reach that with, your friends. Well, they're brothers at this point. I mean, you can't even call them friends. You spend so much time with them. That's how we show we love each other, by winning a championship.
This moment almost didn't happen. Miles Boykin initially wasn't interested in attending Providence Catholic. The promising athlete had a decision to make, and the futures of more than one program hinged on it.
I wanted to go to Marist all the way. I was set. I wanted to go. And my mom said, no, you're going to go to school at Providence with your brother, and if you don't like it after 2 years when he's gone, you can transfer.
It's actually our girls' basketball coach told me about Miles because she had a son that played basketball, and she said, hey, you got to see this Miles Boykin kid. He's only in like 5th grade at the time or 6th grade. So I kind of, researched a little bit and found out that he had an older brother, George, so we recruited George and liked him a lot, and knowing that Miles would, knock on wood, be coming down the road, and that wasn't a guarantee either.
I really just kind of pushed him into it. I was like, look, when you get here, I can't explain some of these things to you, like the grotto and the football atmosphere. I can't explain those things to you. You have to let them happen to you.
Trailing by 2 scores late in Providence's 2011 playoff game against Wheaton-Warrenville South, Celtics head coach Mark Coglanese was looking for a spark. He decided to see if his talented freshman, who he has heard so much about, could step up to the challenge. He did not disappoint.
I'm freezing. I'm like, all right, he's not going to put me in. It's a close game. Next thing you know, he calls me out there, and I just had to make the play. I think I stumbled, and if you watch it, I stumbled because I was so cold. I wasn't stretched out or anything because I just knew I wasn't going in the game. Then he throws the ball up, and I just remember jumping and trying to bring it in with one hand, and they called the catch, and unfortunately it was a touchdown, but it was on the 1-yard line. And then I got up and I started screaming. I ran off the field, and everyone was giving me high fives.
He was just a tall, skinny freshman, and came off the line, got knocked around a little bit, and the ball was hanging up there, and just to see him go up and make that one-handed catch, again, sparked the team, got us down to 1. We ended up scoring after that. So, right there, we knew that he's definitely going to be a special player, and looking forward to next year with him.
Yeah, I was so pumped. You get the Superman nerves, like you can do anything. But it was definitely a great moment. I'll never forget that.
Playoff exits in his first 3 seasons were a harsh reality to Miles that accomplishing his lifelong goal of winning a state championship would be no easy task. It's why on the first day of practice his senior year, he decided to push individual goals to the side. There was only one thing he desired to accomplish.
When you come to Providence, you don't come to just play football, you come to win state. So, no individual goals. It's more than just the team that you're on now. So teams in the past that have won before, and you just want to hold that tradition.
Boykins inside the 5, stretches for the goal line. He hit the pylon, touchdown, Providence.
Shotgun, letting it over the middle. Boykin breaks one tackle, breaks another, and there he goes. Boykin puts it inside, and he'll take it in for a touchdown.
Hunterford is going to throw it to Boykin, who's all by himself, and where are the overrated chance? Providence Catholic touchdown. Hunterford back to throw, fires on the money, pass Boykin. It's the race for the end zone. Boykin will win it. Touchdown, Providence. Downfield, Hunterford wide open as Boykin. No one's going to catch him. Boykin will take it into the end zone, 75 yards with scoring play. Hunterford, quick screen. And then Boykin's going to go downfield. Has a man wide open. Touchdown, Providence. Hunterford wants the bundle. Has Boykin open. Touchdown, Providence.
An All-American campaign that earned him multiple Player of the Year awards in Illinois was quite the accomplishment. But he was still one game away from achieving his lone goal, helping his team win a state title. Waiting for the Celtics in Champaign was undefeated Cary Grove, and Miles was ready for his moment.
I was so zoned in. We get there, I'm getting my fingers taped, my ankles taped, and I'm getting ready to go out, ready to warm up. So we're warming up right in front of Cary Grove, and at that point, it's just like, Justin, let's go, we're doing this. I was so pumped. The look in both of our eyes, it's just a different feeling playing in a game like that.
The bond that we've created over these past 4 years has been one that I don't know if another receiver quarterback can say that they have. I mean, there's times where he even says that he doesn't see me when I'm in the pocket, but he knows that the ball's going to be at this spot at this time, and that's just the trust that we've built in each other to get to the right spot at the right time with the chemistry that we've built.
That chemistry was called upon late in the third quarter, and the game on the line. The Celtics found themselves backed up to their own end zone and needed their playmaker to be just that.
Deep near sideline for Boykin over the shoulder catch. 38 yards to Miles Boykin. The great throw and a great over-the-shoulder grab by the Champaign News-Gazette's Player of the Year in Illinois.
I held my breath the whole entire time. And I knew that that's exactly what they were getting ready to do, because what else could you do? And Cary Grove should have known that too. What else could you do? You on a 1 yard line. You gonna throw it deep. I'm just like, oh my gosh, he gonna catch it, he gonna catch it, he gonna catch it. And yes, but that boy pushed him. I was like, that would have been a touchdown. If he wouldn't have pushed him, if he would have had one more step, he was gone.
I knew that guy was toast. As soon as he made his move, I was like, he's toast, he's gone.
You get the signals, trips left double. And I said, okay, well, there's no other time that we can do this. You know, this can make or break the game right now. So I give him the hand signal, I make the inside move, he bit on it. I got back over the top of him, and Justin threw a perfect ball. I caught it, and then he just pushed me out. And then at that point, I think we just knew that we were gonna win that game. It was just such a momentum change. You know, we just started clicking after that.
The end result was the Celtics' elusive 10th state championship, and it gave Miles and his teammates memories that he's sure will last a lifetime.
Miles, the quest for X has been completed. What's going through your head right now?
I'm just so happy to, this is my last game with my teammates, and I love them. And I'm going to miss them to death, but this is a hell of a way to go out. I love it.
The victory wasn't just for Miles, though. With his family alongside him every step of the way, it made the accomplishment that much sweeter.
He was in tears, and he was like, Dad, I can't believe we done it. I could not believe we done it. But I said, Miles, it was there all along for you guys. You guys they played as one unit. They did. I mean, they had great tools, great other athletes, fantastic defense, a defense that I would have loved to have been a part of. They peaked at the right time.
Play like a champion. Miles Boykin's journey to Notre Dame, presented by the U.S. Marines. We'll be right back. Before Miles Boykin was setting records and winning state championships, he simply wanted to be like his older brother. And a lot had to do with their favorite movie, Space Jam. The timeless classic became an instant hit in a household with two young boys discovering a love for sports.
Being a former athlete myself, one of the things that I wanted to make sure I gave my kids a chance to do was to be fully developed in whatever it is they wanted to do. So consequently, when that time came about, when they were able to walk around and whatnot, and run a little bit, then we gave them little balls. The grandparents started letting them watch Space Jam, right? And they saw Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, and so they took an interest in it. And then consequently, the next thing that followed was little basketball goal.
George was like, I want you to do that like that, Mommy, do it like that. And I'm thinking, okay, so we're downstairs and got the little Tykes thing up, and I said, okay. Starting lineup, I go through the whole thing, the Bulls standing up 3 feet tall. George Boykin, and then he come running in, and then he do his dunk. And then Miles is looking like, me too, me too. And I think George was 4 at the time and Miles was 2. And so that's how it started. And I think they made me do that over and over and over. And they would come in with different shots every time.
There was always some type of ball in the house. You know, my dad used to take us out, you know, we go play basketball somewhere, just the 3 of us. You know, but that's what got us better, you know, that's what got us athletic, you know, just playing all the time. You know, it wasn't serious, but, you know, we were just playing. It was serious to us, but, I mean, playing as like a 3 and 4-year-old, just with the ball, tight rim, I mean, it means the world to you, but when you get older, I mean, eventually, you know, that's where it all starts.
We'd always have our friends come over and play with us, so we'd separate us so we can play one-on-one, and then our friends weren't as good as us, so we were able to play against them, but play one-on-one with us. And it makes them better, but it makes us better too because it's competitive.
As both brothers continued to grow, it was only a matter of time until Miles defeated his big brother.
I remember that game because I was struggling the whole game. I was shooting the ball, but I was banking everything in, so I was like, I'm not gonna win this by shooting, I'm gonna have to try to drive. And when I drove one time, he got me, he glassed me against the backboard, and I was like, oh, this is all over now. He's gonna eat me up.
Brother beat me all the time. I couldn't stand it. I think that's why I got better though, because I mean, I would always strive to beat him. I mean, you can ask my mom. I get so mad just in anything and losing. I'm so competitive, but you know, my brother, I was never able to beat him. I probably wouldn't even beat him now if I played him because he's so much bigger than me. But you know, we were definitely competitive, and we always played. It started a lot of fights, but I love the competition.
As a former college football player, Miles' dad didn't need to see him beat George in a one-on-one game to know that his youngest son had serious talent.
I knew it almost day one. So one of the drills, we always went to basketball practice. So we always went through a series of drills. And in the drills with George and other friends that we brought along, he always was holding his own. I mean, he was just as good, if not better. His stamina, above average. His footwork, above average. His foot speed, above average. Having coached at the GA level at Eastern Illinois University, I was able to see this in athletes. And he was able to sustain that at that level with some of the kids being older than him. So at that point I knew, you know, as long as he had a love for the game and a thirst for the game, that he could do whatever he wanted to do from a physical standpoint.
After proving to everybody he could play on the varsity level in high school, Miles finally got the chance to play with his older brother as a sophomore, but an unfortunate injury changed all that.
He gave me a different perspective because my sophomore year, he had a really bad concussion and he couldn't play his senior year of football. So at that point, you know, it gave me like, he was still out at every practice, doing everything it took. So at that point, I had to take a step back from the game almost and just be like, this is what it's really about, you know, doing whatever it takes, you know, to help your team. So at that point, you know, I had to look back on it and just say, that's what I need to be, whether I'm playing or whether I'm not playing, you know, wherever I am down the line. So that's when it hit me, you know, I just have to be there for them like they're there for me.
It was tough, but you know, not everybody, it goes plans for everybody goes well. But I was still able to be part of the team. Coach Coggs let me be part of the team and everything, so I was satisfied with that. And Miles got to wear my jersey number, so I was fine with that too. And everybody was still cool with me.
George always was the example. You know, I put a lot of pressure on George because he was the eldest. Anybody who knows about being the older sibling knows a lot of pressure comes with that. So George was always taught to go and set the example. Miles would blaze the example. You know, so that was fine because he had somebody to look at, somebody to pattern himself after, and then you let your ability take you as far as it'll take you.
With his brother's playing career cut short, Miles embraced and accepted that he was playing for more than himself. Wearing George's number in winning state was as much for his brother than it was for him.
My brother is my biggest fan, so that was all for him. That was all for him. You know, he's my biggest fan. He's always wanted me to win, and he's always wanted to succeed, and you know, he's never been jealous of me, you know, fortunately. So I don't think anybody could handle it better than him. I mean, he's been the greatest thing that's happened to me. So, you know, I think the night after, you know, I get back home, and he's like, dude, we did it. So I was just always so happy. I mean, just doing everything for him.
Coming up next on Play Like a Champion, presented by the U.S. Marines, find out what it's like to be recruited by the top college football programs in the country. You
love winners, right? Everybody wants to surround themselves with winners, and if you look at what he was able to do, not only on the football field, but with his basketball team, fighting through injury, showing the toughness, showing the determination to make sure that success was headed his way and for his teammates. You like to surround yourself with as many of those guys as you can.
While Miles Boykin was busy winning on the field and in the classroom, it was up to the top-tier programs across the country to try to win him over. And though we assumed he'd eventually play college football, his first offer from Illinois was still a special one.
They didn't tell me the right information, so I get there, and I'm like, the camp ends at 9, right, Coach? He's like, no, it ends at 10. I was like, oh, well, another coach told me it ended at 10, so I have to leave at 9. My mom didn't take me, so I can't really, put that on them. He said, all right, well, man, we're gonna really miss you then. I remember after one specific drill, you could see him coming over to me at the end. He said, we're offering you, it's a done deal, we're offering you right now. And so, that's when I got really excited, just keep going through, and I had to leave early. So at first I was thinking, man, I'm really not gonna get this offer because I have to leave early. I can't show him everything. I don't get to do one-on-ones today. And so right before I left, he gave me his number. He said, we're officially offering you the scholarship right now. We can't wait to have you back down here. Hopefully it's in a couple of weeks. And that was my first offer, and that's how I go. And as soon as I called my mom right away, I was so excited. I was texting all my friends, telling them, and that was a big moment for me.
Miles ended up getting 24 more official Division I offers from some of the top schools in the country. Among them, Oregon, Michigan State, Florida, Wisconsin, and Ole Miss. Notre Dame was also on that list, but the Irish were not the early favorite.
Oh, I hated Notre Dame so much. I couldn't
Really?
even tell you. I hated Notre Dame.
Why?
I hated it. Because everybody loved them. I went to Providence Catholic. Everybody in their families loved Notre Dame, and to me, it was just like, I don't see why everyone loves it. So they sent me mail. I was like, whatever. I don't care about this.
So when Miles gave his commitment to Brian Kelly, it definitely turned heads.
I was kind of shocked. I was like, Notre Dame? Miles, you didn't like Notre Dame. Really? You want to go to Notre Dame? And he's like, yeah. I said, when we came back from the Michigan State trip, because I just knew it was Michigan State. I just knew it was Michigan State. He's like, I'm going to commit to Notre Dame. I said, you sure you want to take some time off to think about that? And he's like, no, that's what I want to do. And I said, oh, okay.
He didn't like Notre Dame. I didn't know that, at least not to the point that some of the articles I had read. I really thought he might go some other places, but I was shocked. I was shocked when he said Notre Dame, but at the same time, I remember being smaller, and Notre Dame was one of my favorite schools as well. So he can't go wrong.
So when did Miles know that South Bend was home?
I knew it was going to come down between two schools, Michigan State and Notre Dame at that point. Because I'd been to Michigan State a lot. They were actually the first school to come visit me in school. So I had a strong connection with them. And the only reason why I took the visit to Michigan State was just so I knew Notre Dame was the right place for me. And that's what happened.
After signing his national letter of intent in February to play for the Irish, he helped his basketball team earn a conference championship, just as he had done on the gridiron. But knowing a step up in competition awaited at Notre Dame, he could not afford to take any time off. All off-season, he trained with his personal strength and conditioning coach, Steve Purvey.
He might be the best pure athlete that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. He just has a natural gift to absorb everything that's around. Like, we joke around here that all he has to do to get stronger is look at that bar, and he's just going to absorb it somehow. And I think that's kind of the way he's wired as an athlete.
He just has the overall knowledge about weightlifting, obviously. I mean, the technique that he's taught me is going to be things that I'm going to be using for the rest of my life. Even obviously coming back here during off season for football at Notre Dame, but the technique he's taught me is irreplaceable. I mean, a lot of people can put up big numbers, but if they don't have the technique and they're not doing it the right way, then it doesn't mean anything.
Now with the Irish, Miles has been putting in the work on the field and in the weight room, and his new coaches are taking notice.
Big, strong, physical, and he can run surprisingly well for such a big body. When you see him, if he walked in here right now, you'd swear he's a tight end, but he's not. As much as we were kind of recruiting him with maybe one eye towards a future tight end, he's not a tight end. He's a wide receiver. He's got extremely good ball skills down the field, adjusts well to the ball. He doesn't play stiff to the ball at all. Can run. So really pleased in terms of what his future looks like as a wide receiver.
I mean, obviously, being from Providence Catholic, profile high school, you know, the type of football team that they had and the way that the coaches deal with the players, and it was just such an easy fit for here, knowing that the background that he experienced in high school was an easy transition and carry over to the University of Notre Dame.
From competing as a youngster with his older brother on the basketball court to winning a state title his senior year of high school, Miles Boykin has personified playing like a champion. And as he brings that winning mentality to South Bend, he has even bigger goals in mind.
Obviously, my goal is to play in the NFL. You know, that's what I strive to do, and that's what I want to do. But you know, the reason why I picked Notre Dame is because, you know, that's not likely. It's not. I'm gonna be realistic. That's not a likely thing to be a part of. So going to Notre Dame, I mean, they're just so outstanding with academics. So basically, why I went there, I mean, for business, and it was one of the top business schools in the nation. So I plan to major in business management or marketing. You know, I think I'm very good with people. You know, I think that can help me down the line. So I mean, obviously, getting a degree from Notre Dame would help me out big time.
When his time in South Bend concludes, Boykin wants to be remembered more for what he was a part of, rather than any individual achievements.
You know, I really just hope they say, man, that was a great team with great players. I don't even want my name to be singled out. I just want them to remember us as a team.
This has been Play Like a Champion, Miles Boykin's journey to Notre Dame, presented by the U.S. Marines. I'm Chuck Arfine. Thanks for watching.